welcome the newest IPO in the market. We have Mr. Pradeep Kumar Agarwal, Chairman of Baazar Style Retail, and Shreyans Surana, MD of Baazar Style Retail, joining us to discuss this wonderful IPO that is there in the market. Let me just give these details to you. The total IPO size is 835 crores, of which the offer of sale is 687. A fresh issue is for 148 crores. The price band is 370 to 389 rupees. This is a profit-making company, open for subscription till September 3rd, and the purpose for this issue is repayment of borrowings. Namaste, Mr. Agarwal and Mr. Surana. A very warm welcome to you. How do you intend to expand the reach of Baazar Style over the next 1 year or so?
Thank you. We intend to grow in the future at the rate what we have grown in the past years. We have grown in at the CAGR of 33% from FY22 to FY24.
Okay. Mr. Agarwal, good morning. Sakshi this side. I wanted to also get a sense of your entire objective of launching this IPO. A large part of this IPO, upwards of 600 crores, is an OFS, and you're raising in the fresh issue about 150 odd crore rupees as well, which you've already indicated that you will be using for repaying the debt. One, what will be the debt status after you repay funds from the fresh issue? And going forward from here, what will be your aim and ambition of launching this IPO, since a large part is only going to the selling shareholders?
Morning, Sakshi. Basically, we already raised a pre-IPO of 37 crores on 3rd of August. And this is 148 crore primary issues. And all the fund of primary issues will be used for the debt repayment. And our company will be debt-free after this. And basically, OFS is to give the liquidity to the existing investor and create the value of Style Baazar in the market.
Right. This is, ladies and gentlemen, a company that was backed by the late Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, and of course is likely to make a debut in the market about 2-3 days from now. Pradeep ji, if you look at the price to earnings ratio at which the IPO has come in, this is 132, and the price to book is 8 times. How do you sort of defend this lofty valuation and a price of about 389? Are you leaving something for the retail investor to make on the table, or is this just an exit for existing investors to sort of make a killing and then maybe hold the baby for retail investors? How do you defend this?
No. Our existing investors are just selling their 50% of their existing holding. Rekha Jhunjhunwala ji also selling just 50% of her holding, and other market investor also, and some of the investor is not selling any shares. And the P is just equal to, you can say, if we compare with the peers, it is more or less equal or less than of the peers, to the peers. And in future, investor will get benefit from the investment in our company.
Okay. Mr. Agarwal, just get a sense of, your expansion plans. You are largely present in East India, West Bengal and Odisha is where your large presence in, but you've also expanded to 9 states. Going forward from here, how are you looking at the geographical presence in the next 1 year? How many stores will you be adding? And are there any newer product categories that you will be getting into?
Yeah. Basically, we are presently in 9 states, and our model is the cluster-based model. We just entered into a state, and de-penetrate in that states, because tier 2, 3 and 4 is the our market, our focused market, because in FY24, out of the total penetration of organized retail, there was 30% was the only contribution of the organized retail. So we basically uh, go deeper into the one state, then we move to the other state. We just understand the taste of the local people first, what their taste, and accordingly we create the market there, so that every person, wherever they go, they feel that the Style Bazaar is there. Style Bazaar create the brand there. That is our target.
Okay, let's get Mr. Surana into the conversation. Very warm welcome to you. Mr. Surana is, of course, the managing director of Baazar Style Retail. Mr. Surana, congratulations, and let's hope you have a stunning debut in the market. But please help us with the expansion plans. 9 states as of now. You have about 162 showrooms, if I'm not wrong, of which the last 85 came in the last 2 years. If you could just chart an expansion in terms of how physical stores will rise, because that's the key to both revenue and profit and profitability.
First of all, thank you so much for inviting us to your show, and thank you so much. I hope that our IPO shines. In terms of expansion from FY17 to FY24, we have grown at a CAGR of 26%. Making us one of the fastest growing value retailer in East India, and we also have the largest trade footprint in East India. In terms of store expansion, I would just like to say that in last 3 years also we have grown at 32%, and we would intend to continue this momentum going forward also. We would hope that we would continue this momentum in terms of store expansion. In terms of geographical expansion, I will say that as we are following a cluster-based approach in which we go deep into a state, explore the benefits of that state, understand the catchment, understand the assortment, and increase the revenue and profitability both on that state. So we continue to grow into the similar trajectory where we are. So right now where we are is 9 states, in which 4 states are core states for us, which are Bengal, Assam, Bihar, and Odisha, where we have got a very decent presence. But still there are lots of empty areas which are still available, where we would like to penetrate in a deeper manner, so that we can achieve the economies of scale and increase the profit margin also. And apart from that, UP and Jharkhand will be the focus states for the future growth.
Okay, do tell us, Mr. Surana, warm welcome, Sakshi this side. I wanted to understand, how is the competition on ground in the markets that you are in currently? We understand, V-Mart also operates in the similar background and the area as well. Do they also have stores at the same areas and locations that you have? Also, Trent is widely moving forward with its Zudio stores, and we've seen, stunning performance for Trent as well on stock markets. How are you looking at this increasing competition, and how will you be scouting for market share there?
So I will just explain two ways. The first thing about the Trent and the Zudio. So Zudio has changed the landscape of value fashion retailing all across. So it has created a place for himself as one of the best value fashion retailers in India as a nation. But their approach is different than us. They are targeting only Gen Z, below 30 years old consumer. And in that too also, they are not addressing the family audience. They are again targeting menswear and the ladies wear, specifically to the western wear portion. Whereas in our scenario, the product assortment is developed on a different side. So we are like Gen Z plus family. So we have the product assortment for across so we have got kids section, we have got ladies ethnic, we have got sari, we have got other lifestyle related categories like plastic wear, bed and house linen, imitation jewelry, cosmetic sections. There are lots of things which are differentiated between us and Zudio. Now coming to the V-Mart thing, yeah, V-Mart has got a lot of competition. They are with us in a lot of geographies, but because the market is so big and the way the unorganized market is shifting towards the organized section, I think plus the way the merchandising, we have got 57 people team in our merchandising section who are working day in and day out, and they are creating lots of designs. You can say that with the fashion building, with the experience that we are giving to the tier 2, tier 3 consumers in terms of air conditioned mall, in terms of exchange facilities, trial room facilities, we are able to bring that traction to our stores. Because post COVID, what we have seen is that the every consumer, whether it's in tier 2 or tier 3, everyone wants comfort. Everyone wants the comfort to of this all these facilities which are not available in tier 2, tier 3. And Zudio is penetrating in majorly in city and tier 1, whereas we are in tier 2, tier 3. And still there is a lot of room for other players also who can join us in the unorganized sector. But I think we have to have a strong base or strong tech oriented organization in which you can build that process along with the other tech so that you can create this room for the faster expansion.
Right. In fact, Sakshi, there's a very interesting report which has come on India retail, where the lower part of the pyramid, you know, the next 30 cities, the next 1000 cities after maybe the top 50, is where the cream of the pie lies. Somewhere like $400 billion worth of retail happens in this market on an annual basis, growing by about $50 billion. So needless to say, Baazar Style, and of course so many names that you mentioned, V2 Retail, V-Mart, etc., are moving in the right direction. It is only a matter of time when the entire Indian middle class shifts from, you know, mom and pop Perchunia shops to retail in terms of their buying patterns. Mr. Surana, how do you see your private labels? I believe the contribution to sales from private labels in FY22 was 25%, and now it stands at 38%. How do you see this segment within Baazar Style growing over the next 2-3 years?
So, as you rightly said, in FY22 we were at a 23-24%, but as of now, FY24 we are 38% of our revenue coming from private label, which is 360 crores from private label. And in last 3 years, we have grown at a 64% CAGR in private label. And what I believe is that private label will be one of the key triggers to increase our gross margin. So it will be one of the key triggers which will help us in gross margin expansion. And in terms of private label, we have got 10 private labels for across the genders. So for right now, Square Up, one of our private label which represents men's and boys category, is an 112 crore revenue brand. Now, what we exactly do in private label is that we have got 57 people team for sourcing, buying, and designing. So they work, as I said, they work on the trends, they work on what the big brands are selling, and try to create those articles at a lower price MRP. And as you rightly said, that the bottom of the pyramid, there's a huge scope. There's one interesting story that I was just to add. So the first time when we met Rakesh, new RG of Rare Enterprise, when he invested, so he was of this view that in next 10 years, this decade will belong to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. And if you do all the things correctly, you can make it a very big model. And exactly that we are seeing that there is a huge room. And plus, as the internet penetration is increasing, people want more and more fashion. The buying pattern has also changed between me and my father also, for example. So he used to buy 2 shirts in a quarter, maybe I am buying 4 in a month. So that way the fashion is behaving very differently, and fashion is just not a style statement, it has become like a confidence statement also. So people want to buy more and more.
That's very true. And very interesting anecdote that you have shared with us as well. On that point, we are actually heading into the festive season as well. How are you looking at the demand emerge in these tier 3, tier 4 cities as well going forward? Because, you know, why I'm asking this is so far in the first half of the fiscal year, we've actually seen, muted demand. That's what most of the retail players have highlighted in their earnings, etc. Or, on their volumes, on their margins too. What do you foresee going forward from here? Are there any green shoots for the rural demand picking up?
I will say reverse of that. I think 9.5% was an L12 growth for us in FY24. And even if you see the comparison between our peers also, because I cannot mention the numbers of our Q1, but if you see even the numbers of our peers, which is V2 and V-Mart, they have done a fantastic L12 growth in Q1. They have shown the results. The thing is that the value tailing is growing very strongly across, and we are already prepared with our inventory built up for the upcoming festive season, because this segment tier 2, tier 3 are majorly driven from a festive point of perspective, because they buy a lot in during the festive period, and we have built our inventory, and we see we forecast that there will be a good demand in coming 4 months also.
Got it.
Right. Before we let you go, Mr. Surana and Pradeep ji, one final question for you, Pradeep ji. So far, the offer for sale goes to existing investors, and the amount that you are raising will go to pay off debt. But for future expansion, will you require another round of funding? Pradeep ji, this is for you.
Yeah. In the FY24, we have a CFO of 111 crores. In future also, we have a very good CFO, cash flow from operations, so that we are able to grow our stores from the cash internal accruals itself. So we don't require to raise the in the future. We don't require the funds to raise in the future.
Okay. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Mr. Agarwal, Mr. Surana, for being with us on this very special edition, detailing for all our viewers your vision going forward from here for Baazar Style. We wish you all the very best for this ongoing IPO, and of course for the listing going forward. And once the company is listed, we'll be happy to have you back to discuss more numbers that you will be in a better position to discuss with us on the operational and the financial metrics as well. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to host you.
Okay,
Thank you
thank you,
so much.